Good morning, children. This is the second session on spotting the errors. Spotting the errors is a very important question in UPSC NDA GAT English examination. In order to do well in spotting the errors, you must have good grasp of grammar and usage. Today we are going to have practice session number 2 after going through 10 rules of spotting the errors. Then at the end we'll discuss the answers of the practice set number 2. So let's start for the second session on spotting the errors. Let's start with rule number 1. When two or more singular nouns are joined together by either or, neither nor, and or, the pronoun is singular. Either Ram or Shyam will give their book. Either Ram or Shyam will give his book. So what is correct here? Either Ram or Shyam will give his book. When you are saying either Ram or Shyam, you mean that one of them. Either Ram or Shyam. Now when you are saying one of them, if the meaning is one of them, then the pronoun has to be singular because you are referring to only one person. Either Ram or Shyam. Therefore, there is Ram and his is correct. Let's go to the second example. Neither Ramesh nor Rajendra. What does it mean? Neither Ramesh nor Rajendra. Not one of them. Not one of them. When we are saying not one of them, then the pronoun has to be singular, not plural. Therefore, when neither nor comes or either or comes, we have to use singular pronoun. Rule number 2 on spotting the errors. There are some verbs when we use as transitive verbs, they always take a reflexive pronoun after them. When self is added to my, your, him, her and it, and selves to our and them, they are known as reflexive pronouns. So first of all, you have to understand what are reflexive pronouns. When we are using self or selves along with other pronouns, so when we are using those suffixes, then they are called as reflexive pronouns. Now he absented, he is there. So what should be the reflexive pronoun there? Himself. You can't say he absented from the class. You have to say he absented himself from the class. We enjoyed ourselves. Enjoy. Along with enjoy also you have to use reflexive pronoun. So some examples of those verbs where you have to use reflexive pronouns when they are used as transitive verbs. For example, enjoy, apply, resign, acquit, drive, exit. You can go through these verbs. So along with these verbs, you have to use reflexive pronouns. So he is there, therefore himself has come. If she is there, what will come? It will be herself. If we is there, what will be there? Ourselves. They, themselves. Remember this. Rule number 3 on spotting the errors. When a singular and a plural noun are joined by or nor, the pronoun must be plural. So we have already seen when either or when it comes, we are referring to one of them. If the nouns are singular, if one of the nouns is singular and another noun is plural, in that case what? In that case, we have to use plural pronoun. Now here, either the engineer or his mechanics failed in his duty. Now mechanics, that is plural subject. When that is plural, then in that case, the pronoun that follows that will be what? That will be plural. So therefore, either the engineer or his mechanics failed in their duty is a right sentence. Rule number 4. This is a very important rule, and this question quite often appears in the exam. The pronoun one must be followed by ones. If one is used, you have to write ones. If he is used, what will come there? His will come. There is no problem. If she is there, her will come. But if one is there, it should be ones. One must do one's duty. One must finish his task in time. Number 5. On spotting the errors. Whose is used for living persons and which for lifeless objects. So when we are using, in the case of living persons, we have to use whose, but in the case of things or lifeless objects, we have to use which. Now which photograph is lying there? That's the incorrect sentence. Whose photograph is lying there? That's a correct sentence. What book do you read? That's the incorrect sentence, and the correct sentence will be which book do you read? Rule number 6 on spotting the errors. Scarcely and hardly are followed by when and not by than. When that comes, when we are using no sooner, then we have to use than. But when you are using scarcely and hardly, we have to use when. And I scarcely entered the room, then the phone rang. That's a wrong sentence. What should be there? There should be when in place of than. I had scarcely entered the room when the phone rang. That's a right sentence. Rule number 7 on spotting the errors. Though is followed by it and not by but. Now when you are using though or although, both they have got same meaning. Though, although. Though is poor, yet he is honest, not but. So but if you write, that's wrong. So though, you have to use it. If you don't use it, that is also alright. But you should not use but. That's wrong. Though he is poor, yet he is honest. Understood? Rule number 8 on spotting the errors. Such is followed by as. Is such a writer as everybody should read his books. But we use that. When do we use that with such? We use such that. But when we are not using together, then you have to use as. Is such a writer as everybody should read his books. Such that there is no problem. You can use this expression. Such is also followed by that if we emphasize the degree of something by mentioning the result. The extent of the disaster was such that the authorities were quite unable to cope. Rule number 9 on spotting the errors. No sooner is followed by than. We have already seen scarcely when, hardly when, no sooner than. No sooner had I entered the class when the students stood up. So when you have to use with hardly or scarcely. No sooner had I entered the class than the students stood up. Attention must also be given to the verb form while using no sooner than. The correct forms are past perfect or past indefinite. No sooner had I entered the class than the students stood up. not stand up. Understood? You have to keep it in mind what tense is used there. If past perfect is used in one clause, in another clause you have to use simple past, which is also called as past indefinite. Rule number 10. So is followed by that. Such as, such that, now so that. Sarita was popular with her classmates that she always had some people coming to her for advice. Sarita was so popular with her classmates that she always had some people coming to her for advice. Have you understood? With so, you have to use that. Now let us have practice on spotting the errors. Now this is going to be set number 2 of practice session. And after this practice set number 2, we are going to discuss the answers of set number 2. At first, attempt all these questions, take your own time and try to attempt all the questions. So let's start with the test of set number 2. Question number 1. My friend did not see me, A, for many years, B, when I met him last week, C, no error, D. Question number 2. It is incumbent, A, with all the students, B, to abide by the college rules, C, no error, D. Now let us move on to the question number 3. The bus collided, A, but nobody was hurt, B. In the accident, C, no error, D. Question number 4. It should be by in place of my. By all standards, A, he is the best soldier, B. Our military school, C, has produced so far, D, no error, E. Remember that there is no error in A and you have to look for the error in other parts of a sentence. Question number 5. While going to his office yesterday, A, Bola remembered that, B, he had not taken, C, one important office file, D, no error, E. Question number 6. Why you don't told him, A and B, clarify all, C, pending matters, D, no error, E. Question number 7. He very promptly, A, withdrew the marks, B, made by him, C, on my office note, D, no error, E. Question number 8. No one will deny, A, the Sarla is one, B, of the most well-dressed girl, C, in our office, D, no error, E. So in our office is D, no error is E. And remember, the Sarla, it should be only Sarla. So B is correct. So look for some other error in this question number 8. Question number 9. He was extremely annoyed, A, when I reported, B, the matter to him, C, and has fired me, D. No error, E. Question number 10. This is the last question. The director, along with A, the staff members B, were present for C, the annual day celebrations D. No error, E. With this, we come to the end of this test on spotting the errors. I hope you have attempted all these questions what we have seen in practice set number 2. Now is the time to discuss the answers for the questions that you have attempted in set number 2 on spotting the errors. Remember, you have to refer to the rules again and again. When you are discussing these questions, you must remember the rules of grammar. That will give confidence in this type of questions when you are attempting. Question number 1. My friend did not see me for many years when I met him last week. Now here the error is in A. Why the error is in A? See here the second clause. When I met him last week, that is in simple past. And then the adverbial for has come, for many years. That will show period of time, long period of time, for many years. So therefore, you have to use past perfect tense in the first clause. When you have got in the second clause, past indefinite. So what will be the answer here? The answer will be, my friend had not seen me for many years. My friend had not seen me for many years. So therefore, the error is in A. Let's take up the second example. It is incumbent with all the students to abide by the college rules. Now here, the answer is B, that means the error is in B. And what is the error there? Preposition with. So preposition with is wrong. So what will come with incumbent? With incumbent, it will be upon. It is incumbent upon all the students to abide by the college rules. So B is the right answer and the error is in preposition. Let's go to question number 3. The bus collided, but nobody was hurt in the accident. The bus collided with what? Or guess what? The bus collided with car or what? That is what is required. So therefore, the bus collided. That will not give you clear meaning. That will not give you complete meaning. And there is need of something else. So therefore, the error is in A. So it should be the bus collided with car or something else. Now let's go to the fourth one. By all standards. I told you there is no error in this because in place of M it should be B. Now the error is in B. He is a best soldier. Best, that shows superlative degree. When superlative degree is used, then we have to use the. So whenever superlative form is there, then we have to use article the, not a. So it will be, he is the best soldier our military school has produced so far. So the error is in B. Question number 5. While going to his office yesterday, Bola remembered that he had not taken one important office file. Now while going to his office, who was going? We know that Bola was going, but it is very important when we are using the adverbials like while or when. What we have to do is we have to use subject. That is very important. while he was going to his office yesterday. So he was is required there. So therefore the error is in A. So while he was going to his office yesterday. So that's why the error is in A. So the answer will be A. Let's go to question number 6. Why you don't told him and clarify all pending matters? It's quite clear that A is the answer. But why A is the answer? Remember, question word why. And when you are making a statement also, you have to remember, why don't you clarify is there. Why don't you tell him? Why don't you tell him? That will be the right answer. Why don't you tell him and clarify all pending matters? So the error is in A, and that's the answer. Question number 7. He very promptly withdrew the marks made by him on my office note. He is subject and verb is withdrew. You can't use very promptly, which is adverb, there before the verb. He withdrew the marks very promptly, that's correct. Or you can say very promptly he withdrew the marks. So therefore the error is in A, and the error lies with very promptly. So therefore it should be very promptly he withdrew the marks. Let's go to question number 8. No one will deny Sarla is one of the most well-dressed girls in our office. Now one of, whenever we use, remember that the noun has to be in plural. One of the girls. So therefore girl is wrong and answer is C. It should be one of the most well-dressed girls in our office. So the answer is C, because the error is in C. Question number 9. He was extremely annoyed, A, when I reported the matter to him, C, and has fired me, D. Now who was extremely annoyed? He was extremely annoyed when I reported the matter to him and fired him. When I told him this matter and fired him. So he was very much annoyed because he was fired. So and fired him. So therefore the error is in D. Let's go to the last question, question number 10. The director along with the staff members were present for the annual day celebrations. The director along with, remember along with is there. If along with is there, then the director along with the staff members. We have to find out the real subject. The director was present. So where is wrong? So what should be there? The director was present for. The director along with the staff members was present for the annual day celebrations. The error is in C. With this, we come to the end of the session 2 on spotting the errors.